Wherever you are right now, take a slow breath. Feel the quiet rhythm of your body, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the pulse echoing faintly behind your eyes. Every breath, every heartbeat, every tiny movement of your fingertips, all of it is being guided by a soft electric orchestra inside your skull. Tonight, we'll drift into that mystery, the hidden world of the human brain, and how it quietly, elegantly controls everything you are. It's often said that the brain is the most complex object in the known universe. Inside it are about 86 billion neurons, each reaching out like the branches of a vast forest, forming more connections than there are stars in the Milky Way. And yet, this dense forest fits within something that weighs barely 3 pounds, floating in a clear ocean of cerebrospinal fluid, protected by bone, blood, and thought itself. The story of control begins deep within. Long before you feel, decide, or dream, the brain is already working, regulating, balancing, sustaining. At the base lies the brainstem, a structure so ancient that we share it with reptiles. It controls the primal rhythms of life, breathing, heartbeat, and sleep. It never rests, never hesitates. Even when you're lost in dreams, it keeps time, steady, mechanical, yet alive. Above it, like an ancient city built upon older ruins, rests the limbic system, the emotional heart of the mind. It's here that memories, fears, and instincts are born. The amygdala, small and almond-shaped, flares with the spark of emotion. The hippocampus weaves the fabric of experience into memory. This middle layer translates raw survival into feeling, the joy of reunion, the panic of danger, the ache of loss. The brain doesn't simply keep us alive, it teaches us what life feels like. And then, crowning it all, is the cerebral cortex, the wrinkled outer shell that holds the miracles of language, art, logic, and imagination. It's where you decide to lift a hand, form a sentence, or dream up a universe that never existed. If the brainstem is the drummer and the limbic system the melody, the cortex is the composer, crafting symphonies from silence, making meaning out of electrical storms. But how does it all work together? Neurons communicate not with words, but with tiny bursts of electricity and chemical whispers. Each signal passes through the gap between cells, the synapse, where molecules called neurotransmitters carry the message forward.
This happens in thousands of a second, repeated billions of times per moment, weaving the continuous flow of thought. You might imagine a conductor waving a baton, commanding this endless performance. But there is no conductor. The brain's control is distributed like a vast ecosystem, self-organizing, constantly adapting, responding to both the outer world and the inner one. When you see something, your visual cortex decodes patterns of light into meaning. When you decide to move, the motor cortex collaborates with the cerebellum to calculate muscle tension, angle, and speed. And while this unfolds, another part, the prefrontal cortex, quietly wonders why. What's astonishing is how the brain does all this without you ever asking. Your autonomic nervous system keeps the body's temperature stable, balances hormones, maintains blood pressure, and coordinates digestion, all automatically, all invisibly. The brain doesn't just control what you choose to do, it orchestrates what you never even notice. For thousands of years, humanity gazed at the stars and thought the heavens were the greatest mystery. But perhaps the true cosmos lies inward, in the tangle of neurons behind our eyes. The ancient Egyptians believed the heart held the soul, discarding the brain during mummification. It took millennia for science to uncover that the true seat of consciousness, memory, and personality was not the heart, but the silent gray matter above it. In the 19th century, a railroad worker named Phineas Gage survived an accident that drove a metal rod through his skull. Miraculously, he lived, but his personality changed completely. Before the accident, he was calm and disciplined. Afterwards, impulsive and erratic. From this tragedy, scientists realized something profound. The brain doesn't just control movement or senses, it defines who we are. Think of how effortlessly your mind coordinates your body. When you walk, hundreds of muscles move in precise harmony, guided by split-second feedback from the eyes, ears, and joints. You don't calculate the angles of each step. The brain does, constantly predicting and correcting, learning from every stumble.
And when you sleep, it doesn't shut down, it cleans. Neural waste is flushed away by the glymphatic system, a quiet janitorial service that restores clarity. Dreams flicker as neurons replay memories, testing new ideas, reorganizing what you've learned. Even in rest, the brain is a ceaseless guardian, dreaming the self into existence night after night. If you've ever stood before an ocean and felt small, consider this. Inside your skull is a sea of its own, waves of electricity pulsing through living tissue. Every thought, every moment of love, every decision to forgive or to fight, all emerge from patterns of matter that hum softly, invisibly, within. The question then isn't how much the brain controls, but whether anything exists outside its control at all. Even what we call free will, that delicate spark of choice, may be the mind's illusion, a narrative spun from countless unseen computations. Yet within that illusion lies everything human: creativity, empathy, belief, and hope. So tonight, as you close your eyes, remember, the brain is not a machine commanding a body. It is the body, listening, adapting, dreaming. You are both the conductor and the symphony, both the watcher and the watched. And perhaps that is the deepest mystery of all. Drift gently now. The mind knows the way.